beginning of my video. Boom!
Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things. It was over in a snap.
We really want it. Alright, we'll be nice.
Only you can be a Patreon.
Oh my gosh!
You don't need to follow the show to be hyped. All right, welcome back to Born Reviews. We got the shirts on. We are showing the pride. Nick here.
Jody.
And we are super excited to be able to give to you this fresh trailer reaction. We are looking at Gulabo, Sitabo. And this is a film that is coming on Amazon Prime Video, which is great because we have that. And it stars Amitabh, Bachchan, Ayushmann, Khurrana. This comes out on June 12th. So, what do you know about this?
Absolutely nothing. I was on the downstairs doing yoga and Nick came to me and said, there's a video that just dropped. We got to react to it. Come on now. And I was like, I need to shower. So here we are.
I showered last week. I'm always good. So, let's go ahead and jump into this. Before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. And here we go.
हमारे एक बात समझ नहीं आ रही है। यहाँ एल्यूमिनियम की हंडिया पड़ी थी, वहाँ मिर्जा की चप्पलें पड़ी थी, यहाँ दो बकरियां बांध रखी हैं। साला हमारे बल्ब मेरा निकालने के लिए। अरे बल्ब ना चोरी हुई, निगोड़ी जायदाद चोरी हो गई। इनकी जायदाद वाली सूरत कहाँ?
I'm gonna bash.
लैट्रिन जाना हो तो मिश्रा जी की फैमिली के साथ जॉइंट टॉयलेट।
लेकिन हमें पता नहीं था कि आप इतने गरीब हैं।
Share the train. All right, let's do that.
No, thank you.
आज से पार्किंग दो 50 रुपया रोज का।
हाँ जाओ अपनी बकरियों के साथ बैठो, ठीक है? और ना ठोक देंगे तुम्हें समझे? हाँ।
हवेली और हमारे बीच आना ना, वरना ऐसा हाल कर देंगे तो हद है।
बुलाओ हाल तो तुम्हारा करेंगे हम। यूनिवर्सिटी के लौंडे बुला लिए ना, जितनी आशिकी चल रही है हवेली के साथ, सब निकाल देंगे। इतनी पुरानी ईंटें, ये तो होना ही था।
एक तो किराया बढ़ाते नहीं हो, मकान खाली करते नहीं हो, घोंगा बन के बैठे हो गले में हमारे।
लाओ मत, अटैक आ जाएगा।
I thought they were all family, but it looks like maybe they're tenants.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the way they talk to each other, you would think that
खाली करवाना किराएदार से।
they're comfortable.
For a long time.
मीटिंग के लिए कैसे आ गए टहलते हुए?
एक ही ऑप्शन है, हवेली बेच दो।
Sell the mansion.
सरकारी हैं, आर्कोलॉजी।
Definitely a falling apart mansion.
बेच रहे हो? बेच ही नहीं सकते।
हवेली हमारी, जमीन हमारी, मर्जी हमारी, कैसे नहीं बेच सकते?
लेकिन परमिशन हमारा लगेगा।
अब मजा है।
मोहब्बत करते हैं हम अपनी हवेली से बेइंतहा।
Hey, there's my name.
ऐसा है, तुम्हारी कोई औलाद नहीं है, हमारा बाप नहीं है। कोर्ट कचहरी के चक्कर से निजात पाओगे, हमें गोद ले लो।
I feel like there's an ultimate moment there. Yeah.
कहीं के।
So, I mean, this is the world we live in today. World premiere on Amazon Prime. And Amazon Prime and Netflix, they've had movies always on there, but I would like to think this movie would have made it into the theater if we weren't going through what we're going through. And, you know, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I love the theater too much that I just hope this whole stuff ends so we can get back to that, because that's where a movie should be premiered, in a theater. But that's a side topic. What do you think about that?
I almost see this better as maybe like a TV series. Like you kind of watch their interactions, because their relationship is, I wouldn't dare talk to somebody like that, but they're very comfortable. So at first I just thought it was like grandfather and grandson or something like that, like a whole family living there. But no, it looked very, very intriguing, very interesting. It looked pretty funny too.
Yeah, I think that's the big core of that movie right there, is the comedy, where you have this young tenant and you have this old landlord, and they're just, and not just that, but probably other tenants too that are driving him crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just too much trouble than it's worth. But I don't see him selling the mansion at the end of the day because he's an elderly gentleman. I mean, his whole life maybe have been dedicated to taking care of that mansion or living there or owning it, and it's going to be like a part of him. It would be impossible for him to be able just to sell that and move on. I mean, what's he going to do in his older age? You know, just live out his days in a smaller apartment or whatever. It's definitely interesting. You got these shiesty different tenants here who are threatening to do this or that. You need our permission, or please adopt me and I'll be your son. Anything they can to stay in this place for probably a low rent, even though it's falling apart.
Well, I was just going to say, they keep talking about mansion, and you talk about mansion, but the thing feels like it's going to fall down any minute.
Not all mansions are castles, are super expensive.
I'm just saying.
But the idea, I mean, and maybe this is just a man thing, but the idea of owning that big piece of property, that huge building, and it's yours, you don't really care what kind of shape it is. Like, I own a mansion. Do you own a mansion?
I just put my hand on this wall and have the bricks fall in.
I mean, we can get that touched up. No big deal. But this is still my mansion. Oh. It reminds me of a Simpsons episode where Homer ruined Ned's life, and the whole house got destroyed and it fell apart. And so Homer got everyone in the neighborhood, because he felt bad, to build them a new house. But it was built by these lay people, not construction workers. And it looked nice on the outside, but you go inside and like they're not congruent hallways. It's like Willy Wonka and whatnot.
No.
The whole thing falls apart in a few days, anyways. So, like you're saying, to your point, if you have a huge house, that's great. But if it's not worth anything, if it has no value, what's the point? Yes. Still. You know, maybe when he tries to sell on the open market, he's not going to get any kind of money for it because it is in such bad shape.
Or the land. Maybe the land's worth it.
You would hope so. But that looked hilarious. That looked funny. Sharing the latrine, I'm not sure about that. You know, not everyone is living the glamorous life, and you got to do what you got to do. And these people are willing to, you know, fight and go to war over, you know, a few square feet of a house that's breaking and falling apart, but that's their house. That's what's important to them.
Well, that, and he mentioned in there about cheap rent. So, is the rent just really that cheap, and they're really just that staunch on not wanting to go out?
Or maybe they
and
don't
pay
have
more.
that kind of money to pay for more expensive rent. I mean, it's a roof over your head. It's
that, or when he said with your permission, I'm curious if they're like hoping that they'll inherit it when he passes, and they're like, no, we got to have that inheritance.
Maybe there's some kind of law that if the landlord dies and you're living there, then you own that land, assuming that landlord doesn't have someone else to pass it off to. Yeah. Another reason why he would ask to be adopted by him so that he can inherit that mansion, which again is probably not valued very highly, but again, it's the idea of, I want to have this mansion, I want to have a place to live, and then I can rent out some places, some rooms to different tenants, and I can make some money off them. But Ayushmann Khurrana, the first few trailers I reacted to him being in, I thought, this guy, he's very jovial. This guy's got a lot of personality. But every movie I've seen him in, he plays that kind of like angry type character, where eventually maybe he'll come around and be a little nicer, but he always has that kind of edge to him. So he fits perfectly in this role. And Amitabh Bachchan, with the whole beard, he reminds me of Jafar from the animated Aladdin, where he's got like the whole get-up, and he's walking around trying to trick Aladdin.
Yes, an elderly man.
Yeah. But there's our reaction to this trailer. It just got dropped today. We hope that you enjoyed our reaction. Let us know what you think about this movie. Let us know what your predictions are. And let us know some of the things that maybe we missed. With all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our other videos. And check out our Patreon if you feel so inclined to. And until next time.
Goodbye.